Hey guys, what's going on? We got another Mythic Plus video here, and as per usual, it is playing at 1.5 times speed, so that way it doesn't take up too much time, and you can see the plays at a faster pace too. But yeah, so as you can tell, we are doing a plus 22 Everbloom. The affixes are Fortified, Volcanic, and Spiteful. This is a complete pug group. I just went into the Finder and found a group. It went fairly well. We had a couple wipes there. I think the Demon Hunter just made a couple mistakes with defensives and ended up falling over, but overall key was pretty simple. It's pretty late into the season. Everybody's got their gear and stuff, so and I am also doing the usual build of Elementalist, so just figured I'd finish the season off with that. And if you didn't know, as season 4 is coming just around the corner, literally comes out the day after this video comes out, uh, we will be having the same tier set. I am not too excited for that, but I mean, it could be worse, I guess. I don't know. Don't really know how it could be worse, but and the reason why I'm not too excited is I don't hate Elementalist build, but I hate talent-driven tier sets. It's not so bad for one season if they, go forth for one season. It's kind of okay. 2 seasons in a row, it's kind of a drag. You've been forced into this and now it's still the only thing. And although there is the option of playing Storm Enhance, it doesn't feel very good with Primordial Wave. Primordial Wave just makes it feel super awkward and clunky, and honestly, just doesn't feel good at all. But yeah, we have season 4 around the corner. Um, there hasn't been any patch notes released as of doing this recording, so I don't know what is quite happening with any balance changes or anything like that. So I have my fingers crossed that we will see some percentage changes because even though during the start of the season we were very powerful, mostly focused in the raid sense, we were quite up there in damage, but as the season has progressed, we have fallen quite a bit of ways down. Not too far in raid. I think we're still A tier for raid, but for Mythic Plus, we did fall down pretty quick because they hit us with a couple of aura nerfs to everything, I think they hit us with a 5% pretty early on. So, but I mean, we're still in a fairly decent spot. But yeah, and if you didn't know, the break the meta event went on recently, and no spec of shaman made the cut for meta. So it didn't matter what you did, and like to me, it just makes no sense. I mean, I'm pretty sure, and I double checked the list a lot of times, we were the only class that didn't have a specialization in the meta. And that's really bad. I mean, generally you have one class or one spec of each class at least in the meta, and we didn't have anything. Although you couldn't be a demon hunter at all because, they're full meta. So it's kind of crazy, and I'm hoping to see some modification changes. And some things that I would like to see is something done with Lightning Shield. Now in PvP, Lightning Shield is quite useful for fighting melee compositions, but when you move on to Mythic Plus or raiding, Lightning Shield just becomes irrelevant, like completely irrelevant. So what I would like to see is, now this probably won't happen in season 4 at all, and I don't expect it to, but um, I'd like to see us be able to give Lightning Shield either to a teammate or have some sort of overcharge your shield effect that causes Lightning Shield to deal AoE damage around you. And if you've ever played Heroes of the Storm, it'd be the same concept as Rhaegar's Lightning Shield in that, if you have ever played. Basically, you can give it to your teammate, and it also applies to you, and it does a AoE damage around you. So I think that would be a great introduction to enhancement, even maybe shamans in general, but because they seem to want to push enhancement to more of a slightly supporty role, but not like full support, more like a minor support. So I think that would be a great introduction to it. Um, because in the past we have had things work with lightning shield, such as I believe, I don't quite remember what it was called, but I think it was like static overcharge or something. Basically, the from and BFA, we had a talent that would allow us every time we storm strike, we would generate a stack of lightning shield. Once we reached 20 stacks, our melee attacks would cause nature damage. So, just bring something to make this ability that is so like unused in PvE to do something, Because it does do quite a lot of damage. Like if you do a PvP match and you have lightning shield with your double shield thingy, the double shield buff, it would be great. If you could even give it to your tank, just an untalented version of it, it would be awesome. Just doing that extra damage from lightning shield would be pretty cool. And I think it would bring forth it would definitely bring or enhancement up in the areas, or even shaman in general. But yeah, that's something I would like to see. Another thing is I'd like to see our class talent tree completely redesigned. To me, I only ever use 3 to 4 talents in that bottom section, which is considered the most powerful section of the talent tree, and yet we don't use any of them. Like, the only one that is considered useful is Ancestral Guidance, and that got hit with a heavy nerf. Everything else is like super minor, yet you have you have classes such as warriors and demon hunters. They get like their meta buff, they get the hunt, you get spear bastion, you get your avatar and stuff. You get these massive cooldowns. And yet shaman, there's no power behind it, which is a real big shame in my opinion. And now the tree is okay, but I think it needs power. And what I'd like to see is, so all three specializations have both Primordial Wave and Ascendance in their trees, right? I believe Primordial Wave and Ascendance should be pushed over to the class tree. And Ascendance, because for one, in the Elemental tree, they completely gutted even further beyond. So it's basically no reason to have those in the talent tree anymore. And in my opinion, the if you go down the ascendance tree in enhancement, I believe it is too much power to try and balance around. It is really fun to deal with, but I don't think we necessarily need it. I think putting too much power behind Ascendance is not very good. And I'd like to just see, put it in the class tree, you get Ascendance, right? And then your second talent option for it, which is underneath after you grab Ascendance, would be Rooted Elements, right? So you have your Ascendance on demand, and then you also have a chance to proc it. I think that would be great. Maybe that might be too much power, but there's nothing else involved with it. And that gives them more options to mess around with the talent tree itself. But that might not be a very popular opinion, but that's what I think should happen. Another thing that would be great would be Chain Harvest. If you didn't play Shadowlands Shaman at all, basically it was the Venthyr's ability, and you took Chain Lightning and Chain Heal and slapped them together. And that's what it did. It hit 5 targets each. So it hit 5 enemies and it hit 5 allies, healing and applying Riptide, also dealing damage and applying Flame Shock. Now, this ability was a massive staple of shamans. By the end of the season, enhancement shamans were able to heal Mythic Plus groups just because of a niche build with it was Skybreaker's Demise or whatever, basically increasing the critical strike chance of Flame Shock, because every crit of that reduced the cooldown of Chain Harvest, and then every time Chain Harvest dealt a crit, it would, reduce its cooldown even further. So you had a lot of Chain Harvest available. But yeah, those super niche things, they wouldn't happen nowadays. But I think Chain Harvest should come back either in the class tree or in the enhancement tree if they want to be very specific with it. I think it would be a great addition to the entire shaman kit for all three of them. For one, elemental, you would be able to get flame shocks out a bit easier. You'd have that second option other than just lava plume totem. And then also for resto shaman, you'd get a lot of riptides out and also be able to do quite a bit of damage with it. But yeah, that is my opinion on that. Do let me know what your thoughts are. As I said, I haven't seen any notes on the PTR or anything for enhancement, so if you have seen them, let me know. See what I don't know what's happening with us, so it would be great to know. But I assume that they'll be coming out either the morning of or the night before patch day. So I can't wait to see that. As for what's coming in War Within, there hasn't been any quite announcements yet, although there has been testing on the Farseer talents for Elemental and Resto, and I have heard not so great things about them. Um, I think the majority of it is because it's undertuned. They didn't want to overtune it. They kept it, very minor damage. And maybe as the alpha continues, they'll probably start buffing and they want to work on it, right? So I think overall the Farseer talents are good, but I think just the power of it right now is just very lackluster and doesn't do too much because it could interact with all these other talents, but not quite sure what's happening. I haven't tested it myself. It's just from what I've heard. So, but if I do get alpha or even beta, I will definitely be checking out War Within. But they did mention that they want to have all of the hero talents and stuff like that in the game before alpha is over. So I assume by probably mid-May, maybe end of May, we'll probably be seeing all the hero talents that are out. All hero talents should be out. So I am quite excited for that. Stormbringer sounds like it's going to be very focused around either ascendance or possibly just like nature damage. So we might be seeing some AoE effects that would be pretty cool for both chain lightning and stuff like that. So I'd really like to see that. Be very interesting. And the totemic kind of worries me. I feel like I've talked about this before, but it would be really cool to see some more totem action. Bring back magma totem or fire nova totem and stuff like that. A big heavy hit. I don't know why I pulled aggro here. I just died and I was like, screw it, just onk. But yeah, so totemic sounds like we're either going to be very focused on team support or possibly just totem damage and survival type of thing. So giving us stone skin totem or damaging totems, maybe Sky Fury's coming back or something like that. So that'd be pretty cool. But other things that I'd like to see change to enhancement for maybe season 4 is Wind Fury totem. I have a really big issue with Wind Fury totem, and I think it's great to have it, but I hate the fact that is one, it's on it's a GCD, right? So you have to put this down and it applies Wind Fury for your group. Why can't we just make it an aura? Like literally just make it a raid aura or whatever, right? Everybody else has this 1 hour raid aura and stuff like that, but you have to put this totem down and you have to move it with your group and blah blah blah. It's really annoying. Although like most fights shouldn't really be lasting more than 2 minutes, but they definitely do. But yeah, I'd like to, if they want to keep Wind Fury in the game, I definitely think making Wind Fury totem an aura would be ideal, and maybe giving it a bonus talent too, to be honest, because like even though it is quite useful and majority of the time in world first races, an Enhanced Shaman is brought there literally just for Wind Fury totem, not because they're good. Although this patch's or season three's world first actually had, I believe they had 2 enhancement shamans on the team, which was pretty great to see. But if we were to do like another, world first race where everybody had all gear and stuff, I don't think enhancement would be on the team. I just don't think it has the power. but I could be wrong. I don't know. I obviously don't play enhancement at like a perfection level. That's where the pros are because I suck. But yeah, I don't know if enhancement would quite make the cut. One might be there just for Wind Fury, and that would be about it. You would have your warriors and your demon hunters. You'd have all those guys there. But yeah, I don't know. I really hope to see some massive changes. We didn't make the cut for meta for Mythic Plus. We did make the cut for meta for raid, so that was pretty cool. But yeah, and also PvP enhancement is just rough. But yeah, I don't know. In the PvE side of things, I really did enjoy season 3. I didn't really enjoy season 3 PvP. It kind of demon hunters and ret paladins took over and it was just meh. I don't know. But season 3 PvE, it was pretty fun. I loved the dungeons. They were all a blast, at the very start they were quite overtuned, but it also brings a bit of fun to it too, right? You're not just raffle stomping these keys at the start, you're actually getting your butt kicked in them. So I am really excited for season 4. I enjoyed all of the Dragonflight dungeons aside from Ultimate. I think most people can agree with that. I really did enjoy all of them. So it is exciting to see, and especially seeing a lot of the changes to the dungeons too, I think is going to be great. I think it's going to be a lot easier. I'm not sure how I feel about the healer change. It seemed very odd, so we'll have to see what's going on there. I also haven't checked up with anybody like Automatic Jack or anything on their YouTube or stuff like that to see what their thoughts were on that. So, but yeah, I don't know. I am super excited for season 4. I really hope we see some good changes to enhancement in general. Maybe bring back some mass AoE for us or something like that. Some maybe absolutely break it so you uncap flame shock and then we're kind of absurd, but I don't see too much changing, unfortunately. But I could be wrong. I could be wrong. So, but yeah, that is going to be it for this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed watching me do this everbloom key and listening to me ramble on about random stuff. I really hope you guys are enjoying these videos because they are kind of fun and it gives me a chance, just to talk about WoW, which I love doing. But yeah, anyways, thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed, and hopefully I will see you in the next one. Laters!